Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we are going to do things a little differently. We are going to look at a website called Reddit. I know that some people may be aware of it, some people may not. If you're not aware of what Reddit is, what it is, it's an online forum where you can go for like literally anything, and you can ask questions, you can post things, you can get answers, you can talk to people in the same community that have the same interests as you. And while some people may use it for trolling reasons or reasons that aren't very good, there's still a lot of people on the website who use it for good things. So one of the subreddits that I like to look at is called Personal Finance. And in Personal Finance, you can ask questions about things related to budgeting, investing, whatever you may think for in anything personal finance related. And you're likely to get a lot of real answers in there. You might get varied answers on good or bad answers, but nevertheless, you can get answers on there, and you can also give advice to other people that are asking questions. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to look at 4 different questions that people have asked on this forum recently and kind of discuss them so you can get an idea of what people are asking, and I can give you guys my answers to some of those questions as well. I'll put the questions up on the screen for you to be able to see them as well so you can get an idea of what's going on. So let's get into it. So first, I'm going to tell you about the community a little bit. So on Personal Finance, this is exactly what they say. It says, learn about budgeting, saving, getting out of debt, credit, investing, and retirement planning. They also have a Wikipedia kind of for it, so you can look and get an idea of frequently asked questions and ways to help you. So the first question we're going to look at today is, I might get laid off and have medical bills. Should I use a credit card to avoid depleting all of my cash? This user goes through and they list off a summary of their finances, where they tell you what their net income is. They tell you about their expenses. They do say that they're married, but they are the sole earner in their household. So the question here again is, should they use a credit card to avoid depleting their cash when it comes to medical bills? Now, a lot of people may know this or you may not know this, but with medical bills, it is actually really easy to put on a payment plan for them. So for example, I had a bill several years ago before I had insurance, so we're talking 10-12 years ago. I had to go for an emergency ultrasound for something, and the bill was like $600. So I didn't have $600 then because I was waiting tables and I was living paycheck to paycheck. So what I did is I got with the hospital and I said, I can pay you $50 a month for this bill until it's paid off. And I'll try to pay extra when I can, but $50 is the maximum I can guarantee you I can pay you every month. So they put me on that payment plan and I was able to pay it off early. But what that did for me is that made sure that they knew they were going to get money from me and they could not send it to collections. The worst thing that can happen is something gets sent to collections for you and then you pay it off. And sometimes if it does get sent to a collections agency, you can negotiate with the collection agency to be able to pay a certain percentage of it to get it off your record, because collection agencies pay pennies on the dollar for that debt. But my advice is definitely don't take out credit cards or put more money on credit cards to pay for your medical bills if something happens, unless you have a care credit card and you can get 0% interest for an introductory period of 12 months or something like that, because that's a good way to help your credit, and that's a good way to put it in monthly payments if you can do so. But in this situation, if it's something where you don't get that, I would set up a payment plan with the hospital or the provider to give them a certain amount per month guaranteed, and that'll keep you from going to collection. So the second question we're going to look at is something pretty simple, but I want to throw it in here for you. So the question is, the safest way to order personal checks. This person hasn't ordered checks since 2006, and they know people that were victims of fraud and identity theft from ordering checks online. So what I'm going to say is, if you have a bank, your safest way to order checks is going to be through the bank. There are plenty of websites out there who offer checks to you. You can make custom checks if you want to do that. However, I would personally advise you to just use your bank because it's the safest bet. And if something happens as a result of your bank ordering those checks for you, they can help you resolve that easily. The third question we're going to look at today, it basically just is titled In Over My Head with Debt. So this person talks about the things that they've done, the house that they own, they got solar panels, things of that nature. They give you an idea of what their income and expenses are. So this person earns $55,000 a year. They bring home about $3,200 a month. Their house payment is $800 a month, and they list all these things out. But one of the things that they put on here that's pretty high for a single person is their food. They pay $800 a month for food for one person. So when you think about that, that is $200 a week for one person. And right now, I've got our bills down on our monthly spending to be about $500 to $600 a month for two people. So one thing that this tells me is that this person is probably not cooking at home a lot. I would assume that maybe they work outside the home, that they are eating out a lot, maybe breakfast, lunch, and they could be cooking for dinner. It just depends. It also could depend on where they work and what area they're in. For example, I work downtown sometimes in my area, and if I wanted to eat out, I looked at a lot of the restaurants, and I'm looking at spending a minimum of like $15 to $20, not including a tip, to eat out. If I wanted to like have a soda and have a lunch, like I said, we're looking at like $15 to $20 without tip. And if I did that 3 times a week, that's $60+ a week just for lunch alone, and that can blow a budget right there. So on this one with this person, and I see a lot of people are actually mentioning about cutting down their food expenses. So what you can do is, if you have a large food expense for your family or yourself or just you and your spouse, I would sit down and I would look at the food expense. I would see where you're really spending your money. Are you guys eating out a lot? Are you buying expensive food? Like, what is going on? A lot of times people that have a lot of expenses when it comes to food, they're either eating out a lot, they are not, or they're not planning. So if you're not planning on your meals, you're more likely to spend more money because you're probably going into the grocery store and you're just buying stuff that looks good and you're figuring out as you go. If you say take an hour or two, like once a week or once a month, and you just plan out your meals and then build on that, and you say, okay, well, I need, an onion for this meal, an onion for that meal. I can just buy like one large onion and I can split it between the two, and other things like that with ingredients. So you're not wasting ingredients, you're not throwing excess stuff away. Even like, for example, I had an onion the other night that I used for a meal, and I only needed half of the onion. So what I did is I chopped up the rest of it and I froze it for later. So you can do that with a lot of different things, whether it be meat, be produce, things of that nature. My Kroger had strawberries on sale this week for $1.99 a pack, which is a killer deal. I bought 3 packs of it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop them up and I'm gonna freeze them for later, because normally they're like $4 or $5 a pack. So these are things you can do to really help minimize your monthly spending on food. So sometimes you just have to get creative with it. This last question is going to be related to something personal finance, but also it could relate to something else. The question is a master's degree worth it? So this person talks about how they dropped out of college previously, they went back and completed their bachelor's, and they have a good job already that they enjoy the work, but they're wanting to see if they can maximize their earnings and earn more money by obtaining a master's degree. So here's what I'm going to say about that. I'm currently a master's student. I also quit school at one point. I went back and finished my bachelor's degree in December of 2022. Decided to do that during the pandemic. And then I went straight to a master's degree in January of 2023. So one thing that's important to note is, what field are you wanting to get your master's degree in? If you want to get a master's in like business, you may see an uptick in earnings from getting a master's degree. If you want to get a master's degree in like literature or something of that nature, you may not see an uptick. So it's important to see what program you're wanting to get your degree in and whether or not that could be beneficial to your earnings. Second thing is to look in your industry. So I have been working at my current company for almost 5 years. And in the 5 years I've been here, I am on my 3rd position, and all 3 have earned me more money. I completed my bachelor's degree in 2022, and I got a new position in January of 2023, right after I finished my degree. And I do think that that helped me because the job description did state they wanted someone with a bachelor's degree with X amount of experience. If I didn't have that bachelor's degree, but I had, maybe 10 years of experience as opposed to 2 years, I could have possibly still gotten the position, but the minimum they were looking for was a bachelor's degree. There are some positions they are looking for a master's degree, or they're looking for someone with like a CPA designation in my industry. I'm currently doing an MBA, so it is something that can earn me more money later down the road. But also, a lot of employers are looking for experience. So, just because you have a master's degree or you're earning a master's degree doesn't mean you're going to earn more money like right off the bat. You may have to wait a couple of years to do so because you might also have to get that experience along with that. So my advice is not necessarily that a master's degree is not worth it or that it is worth it. It's knowing what type of work you're wanting to do, what you're wanting to get your degree in, and it's knowing like what the trends are for that and if it's worth it really for you to do so. Because when you think about this, you might spend $20,000 to $50,000 or more on a master's degree, and you may take a long time just to pay that off on top of what extra earnings you get. So if you're going to earn an extra $5,000 or $10,000 a year from getting a master's, is it really worth it? And that's something to really consider before you do so. So I hope that some of the things I discussed today by looking at this subreddit have really helped some of you out. But I hope it also gave you guys an idea of things that people ask and things that people may need answered, so you can help other people, or you can look into this resource to have people help you, because some people may not think to go to a website like Reddit to ask these questions. But I'm here to tell you that at the end of the day, any resource you can use that can seem to be semi-reliable, mostly reliable, or that can really just like help you, I wouldn't hesitate to look at it. Look at YouTube videos for people to answer questions for you or to help you with a tutorial on something you need. Look at forums like Reddit that can help you to answer questions. Look at Facebook groups that might help you to save money on things. And I would utilize any source possible to be able to help you achieve your goals. And I hope you'll subscribe to my channel so that you can see more content like this in the future. Thank you again so much.